Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. In the interest of beating the impending storms that are set to hit Kent at around 9:15, we are going to get this one underway a little bit early in our first game of hopefully at least two or more today. It is Ohio Elite taking on T3 up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove. Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Smacked into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back to back Jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hansen pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
From Schoonover Stadium in Kent, Ohio, we say good morning and welcome into SmeeSports' coverage of the 2025 Kent State/Akron Open. It is day number one of pool play, and getting us underway, it is Ohio Elite taking on the T3 Warhawks. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Should be a fun game, assuming we actually get to play every second of it, which Right now, I would not hold your breath. Looking at 19 first alerts, it says 9:30 the storms are supposed to hit. Hopefully we can keep pushing that back, but it is not a good sign that it is 8:23 in the morning and we are playing with the stadium lights on. That kind of just tells you what to expect for the rest of today. Hopefully it's going to be better than we think, but right now I would not really say that is a guarantee by any means. But as long as it is clear and it is safe, we are going to have some fun baseball. Should be a good battle. Both squads, class of 2026 heavy, 0 college commits. That makes this kind of fun. We've covered a lot of 18U, which seeing the stars of the future in college is always fun. But why not give some love to the guys who are ready to commit, just haven't made that final decision yet. That is what we are here to do today. For T3, it is Lasigno stepping in to get us underway. And at 8:24, the first pitch is up and in for ball one. On the mound today for Ohio Elite, it is number 15, Cam Ryan, who just finished up his junior campaign in Pepper Pike for University School. The 1-0 on the outside edge hits, now 1-1 the count. As well, we do have some new friends to say hello to today, featuring NDI Webcam 1. And then NDI Webcam 2 is off to the side. We will get back to that one in a second. 1-1 is off the dish for ball two. Trying to find everything in preview windows. There it is. That is the second one. It is choppy, so we will work with that once we have time. Good drive up the middle, and it is down into center field. It's a leadoff single for Colin Lasigno. Dream start for T3, getting the leadoff man aboard. A nice crack into center field. If the Bats can get going early in this game, that is going to really be a good sign of things to come for both offenses. As the season winds down, both squads pretty much in their mid-season form. This is where they can really put everything together and go from there. Throwback to one, not in time, but still a good idea on the mound from Ryan. But a lot of these guys have been playing nonstop baseball since March. Not a bad thing, yes, but it can lead to some exhaustion. Runner will go. Throw down to second is going to hit the runner, and he is going to be safe. First stolen base of the game, and that'll put a runner in scoring position. Easton Weber, the second baseman, stepping in for the T3 Warhawks, wearing number 3 today. He just finished up his junior campaign in Lorain County for Brookside. And Brookside has had a lot of interesting campaigns this past year. The big one was basketball. Their offense was good for around 90 points a game on numerous occasions. Something's in the water over in Brookside in the Sheffield area, so that could be something to watch for the upcoming year across all sports. 2-0 connects, now 2-1 the count. Usually the saying goes, you have a little bit of pep in your step. This OEB squad, they have some prep in their step, as once again they have a lot of university school preppers on this roster. And going back to that constant baseball since March, a lot of that stems from those guys. They played up until the day before Father's Day with US, and then immediately bumps on over to their travel teams. And that last game, really much drawn out, as it should have started a lot earlier than it did. But kind of like today, a lot of storms happened in Akron, and that kind of derailed the progress that we had. Ryan fakes the throw back to second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Weber. It is Aferink, the first baseman, awaiting in the on-deck circle for the Warhawks. Ryan's 2-2 off the edge for ball 3, and we are full. Ryan has to have it here. Putting the first 2 guys on, 1 single, 1 walk is not an ideal way to start. And he knows that very well. The payoff pitch, it will sail upstairs for ball 4, and that'll give us our second base runner of the game. So 2 on, nobody out. This is a great start for T3. At first it was their bats getting going, and now it is just the patience game. Looking at Aferink, he just finished up his junior campaign at Lutheran West, a rebuilding Lutheran West. Next year they hope to put the pieces together, as it could be a big, big year for them. It just depends on how things go. They've had some great players over the past couple of years. One of the biggest names they had, Jonathan Barnes, the catcher, now gone as he was a member of the class of 2024. But Lou West, they were off to a great start last year. This year just couldn't get that same pep in their step from the get-go. But guys like Akron have a chance to change that program back to their best. And I think across all platforms and all programs, it is going to be a year of change at Lou West. Athletic Director Ryan Miller stepping down. Going to miss seeing him as we often cover Lutheran West, whether it be with SmeeSports or back in my days with Holy Name Broadcasting. And on top of that, basketball losing a lot of their big stars they've had for a couple of years. It is going to be a double steal. Throw down to third. It is not in time. He is in there. And the double steal pays off. Now you see the runner at third and then going back to second. The 1-0 hit foul and the bat will drop. After Afferink hits Graham, Hykov, Dooley, Joseph, Wetherell, Melendez, and Clark in the 10 slot for the Warhawks. 2 on in scoring position, nobody out to get the game underway. Ryan's 1-1. Ground ball driven towards short. It is through into left field, and that is going to bring in the opening run. It is an RBI single for Steven Afferink. And once again, the dream start continues. 2 hits so far in this game, no outs recorded, and 1 run now has scored. For this T3 offense, they have a lot going for them right now. Both patience and precision is paying off. So we'll see what ends up happening here. With runners in the corners, it is Graham stepping in. First pitch, Ryan able to connect on the outer edge for strike 1. Lucas Graham, wearing number 28, just finished up his junior campaign at Perrysburg. And Perrysburg was a squad that shocked a lot of people as they made it all the way to Canal Park. In an overall fashion that they did it, it was a very interesting way, especially given the storms at Munson that kind of helped them get there. Back runner goes. The 0-1 throwdown is going to result in a rundown. They have Afferink. They're going to throw home. They don't have him, and Afferink is in at second base. The bait and switch goes off without a hitch, and that is going to make it 2-0 T3. Excellent base running. Afferink got it started, and in the end, it was Weber who completed it. And that is the difficulty with those first and thirds. You can bait that run down. If it's done right, you give your runner at third just enough time to take home. And that time, that is exactly what happened. Fouled off towards the right side, and it is going to bounce foul. Just in and out of the glove. Tough one there over at first base for Mitchner. To be fair, he was leaning over into the dugout. Far from a gimme play. No balls, 2 strikes. Ryan sets and fires, and he is going to miss off the dish for ball 1. So far in this game, T3 able to plate 2 runs without sacrificing an out. Great efficiency from them from the jump. The 1-2 hit right up the middle. It is into center field, and they are going to send Afferink home. It is going to be a tough play, but he is in there. And speaking of in, Graham is in at second. Now a 3-0 lead for the Warhawks. It'll go down as an RBI single as on the throw, Graham was able to take home. 3 hits, 1 walk, 2 RBI singles, and 1 great piece of base running. Now it is the number 5 hitter, Alex Hykov, stepping in. Hykov, the rising senior, just finished up his junior campaign once again out kind of in Lorain County at Avon Lake. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Once again, for those just tuning in, we are expecting storms within the next hour, so we hope to work through that. Fly ball sent into deep left center field. It is going to drop for extra bases. And they are going to send the runner all the way home, and he is in. That'll make it 4-0 on the RBI double from Hykov. The rally continues. What a start for the Warhawks. And going back to those storms, they know that is on the horizon. If they can end this one quick, they know that is definitely going to help them out in pool play. And as a powwow was had by the middle infielders and the starting pitcher, Ryan, we will see some action in the bullpen for OEB as it is Brant Newberger making his trot down the right field line. And in the meantime, time has been called by OEB. They want to talk things over on the mound with Ryan. Assuming that we do not have the Storms as bad as we expect them to be, we should have 4 more games today. That is the goal, at least. 10:45, 1, 3:15, and 5:30 first pitches. But once again, that is a less than ideal guarantee right now. As if we do see those games, it will most likely be a lot later. And I will reiterate the points. If at 8:30 a.m. you have your stadium lights on, that says something about the weather. It's playable right now, yes, but did not really have stadium lights on this early on my bingo card. And it's not like it's dark out at all. You can see it on your screen here if we go to the wide angle. It's plenty bright out for now. The question is, how long will that last? Dooley fouls that one off now, 1-1 the count. Looking at the number 6 hitter wearing number 12, Dooley just finished up his junior campaign for Columbia. And Columbia Station is one of those scrappy small division schools. They have a lot of great ball players, especially in the class of 2027. We will potentially see some of them on the Snappers roster in the NABF World Series. But they have a very good young core, a lot of returners next year. And going back to the expanded format of 7 divisions for baseball, they could be a team that, like a Carrollton, like a Lakewood, makes a deep playoff run for the first time in a long while. They could be the small school equivalent. 2-1 on the top of the zone, hits, now 2-2 the count. In the next inning, it is Lasecki, Morton, and Berglund for OEB. But that is still a long way away. Ryan's 2-2. Just tipped foul by Dooley. Good survival swing. Got just enough on it, but nothing crazy. 4-0 your score. 4 hits so far today for the Warhawks and 1 walk. Here comes the 2-2. Once again, driven foul. This time popping on over us in the press box. And as this could be our final time at Kent State's Schoonover Stadium, once again, thank you to KSU and KSU Baseball for allowing us to use their beautiful press box this whole summer. Here comes the 2-2. Runs inside for ball 3, and we are full. In the on-deck circle, it is Cameron Joseph, the third baseman. For those just tuning in, whether it be you're a fan of these two teams or if you are Release Edwards or the Midwest Stars gauging how long this one is going to go, welcome on in. Hopefully we'll have a full slate of baseball for you today. Payoff pitch up and in for ball 4. 6 up, 6 on to begin the game for the Warhawks. We saw OEB Rundgren do something similar to AMP a few weeks ago, but there wasn't early out in that inning. This time around, not so much. And now it appears another person is sprinting on down to the bullpen for OEB. We will get an ID on who that is soon. There are 2 number 26s. I believe it is Zambala who's down there, but we will see. 2 on, nobody out for Cameron Joseph. Throw back to second, not in time. Joseph wearing number 41, just finished up his junior campaign for Fremont Ross. You look at this roster, a lot of the Cleveland area, some Lorain County, and then you see Perrysburg, Fremont Ross, and then Booth, who's not here, representing Chardon. So good melting pot on this T3 roster, and so far today, that is definitely helping them out. It is always good to have guys from all across the board, and we'll see that in the next game if we play it with Release Edwards. You have guys from Stark County and Triplett and Davis doing great with Cleveland guys such as Lashutka and Lau. Once again, Ryan looks back the runner at second base, and it is a heavy head-first slide by Heikoff back in. And as there is no throw, he is definitively safe. The 0-1, now it's a heavy secondary. It's a double steal, and now we have a pair of rundowns. Throwback to second is going to clip wide right. The lead runner is going off to third, and he is going to be on in there. Did not expect to see that on that throw, but in the end it works out. And once again, it is shrewd base running from T3 paying off. And that sets you up with another first and third. I think if you're OEB, you eat the throw. You do need an out somewhere. That is a certainty. But you got to be careful with how you go about it. Wave and a miss. Runner will go on the delay. Throw through. They got him on the back of the foot. And at long last, there is out number 1. Nice throw from behind the dish. That is Zelenik. And once again, just like his pitcher, Zelenik is a rising senior over at University School. The pitch, it is going to be there for strike 3 looking, and just like that, there are 2 down. A great response by Cam Ryan. Outs on back-to-back pitches. And after a hot start, 2 down now for the Warhawks, but they have more than enough from this inning. Weatherall, the catcher, now steps in. Wave and a miss, 0-1. Looking at the defense, it's Ryan on the mound, Zelenik behind the dish, Michener at first, Bucci at second. It is Langford at short, Banks at third, Morton in left, Lasecki in center, and Lapp in right. And that'll set up the defense for Ohio Elite. One ball, one strike, the count. And now time called. For the T3 Warhawks making a statement early on in this game. Ryan sets up for the 1-1. And it is going to trickle on foul. Got a light tip, as that was the designation, as anytime the ball escapes on a pitch like that where it's kind of uncertain if there was contact or not, you have to have it clearly called. If not, you're going to have a play at the plate that could be avoidable. Here comes the 1-2. Well off. Good spot from Ryan, trying to get the chase. But this T3 offense so far has shown that they have a high baseball IQ and also very good plate discipline. Ryan's 2-2, brings it inside, and he is going to get a piece. A pitch that definitely could have been called a ball on the inner edge of the dish. But when it's close like that, you always have to be careful and you always have to protect. And not saying that the zone changes because it is a 4-0 game, but 2-2 count, 2 down in an inning that got out of hand quick. That could be a slightly bigger zone. Ryan tries the 2-2 again, and it will be fouled away. Tristan Witherwell, wearing number 19, just finished up his junior season at Edison. We saw a lot of the rising freshmen at Edison a couple of weeks ago at, I believe, the second Kent State invite, as they were all on one roster. The 2-2 one more time. Not quite one more time, as we will have to see it again. Good battle here as Wetherell tries to keep the inning going. If he gets on, we go to the number 9 hitter in Melendez. After Melendez, it's Clark, then back to the top of the order we go. Count remains the same, 2 balls, 2 strikes. One more time Ryan tries, and he will miss upstairs, so we will have a payoff pitch. Excellent battle in the box by Wetherell. This has not been an easy spot for him. Saw 2 guys retired on back-to-back pitches before he stepped in, and now he tries to bring in what would be run number 5. Payoff pitch is skied, shallowly hit on the infield. It is going to reside right around second base, where it is caught, and the side is retired. Nice composure by Bucci over at second base to track it amid the sun. The T3 Warhawks, a hot commodity in this tournament so far. Their offense off to the races. 4-0 your score, middle of 1 in Kent. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3888 3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium on the campus of Kent State University. Bottom of the first inning in Kent, and it is the T3 Warhawks off to the races, up 4-0 on Ohio Elite Baseball. For those just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning. During the break, we did figure out our NDI cams just to show them again. There's third, and there's first. We had to go with them wirelessly, opposed to actually hardwired in, which is really obscure for those who kind of understand the technology of this. Usually when you plug in, you have that clear image. It's a lot faster. In this case, it is NDI that is coming to the rescue and giving us a lot less of a choppy picture. Haven't really had an opportunity to show off first and third quite yet in this game, so we will hope to do that in this inning. And there's an opportunity as that ball is down the line, going into the corner. It is a leadoff, at least double for Lasecki, but he wants more. He is going to third, and he is cruising on in. A leadoff triple for Lasecki, and OEB is back in business. An excellent job all the way around to get that done. Perfect. And we'll see if they can change that for the next time. But a leadoff triple, not exactly where this T3 defense wants to be after such a hot start. Now it is Morton coming in, trying to get a run on the board for Ohio Elite. But Lasecki with a big triple. That could be a massive spark for this OEB team, still down by a good margin. But Brady Morton wearing number 22, one of the Stark County representatives on this squad, as he just finished up his junior campaign at Massillon and Jackson, where we will be on Sunday for the NABF World Series Championships. 1-1 off to the side for ball two. So far, T3 up 4-0, but Ohio Elite knocking on the door, ready to strike for the first time today. 2-1 up high, misses for ball three. After Morton, it is Bobby Berglund, the EH, in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 3-1. Driven towards the right side. Foul, we are full. And there you see Lasecki on your screen getting his lead. Has to be ready to go, but at the same time, if it's in the air, he has to be ready to tag. You cannot have a wasted opportunity here. Payoff pitch, it's chopped over towards second. Bobbled, throw is not going to be in time, and that is going to bring in the opening run of the game for OEB. They needed something this inning. They got it quick, and on the E4, Morton will reach. Nicely done by the offense. Leadoff man does a lot of the heavy lifting And then in the number 2 slot, Morton comes in and cleans up the rest. And now it is Bobby Berglund coming in. First pitch to Berglund, hits the outer edge for strike 1. Just to count it, 4 players on this squad, or excuse me, 5 play for University School. That'll be a pass ball, and that is going to give second base to Morton. And just like that, a comeback in this game not seeming too unlikely for Ohio Elite. Initially, this game looked to be T3s to run away with. But right now, it feels a lot closer than it is on the scoreboard. But that always can change. The 1-1, it is going to miss for ball 2. Once again, up next on SmeeSports, it is the Midwest Stars and Release Baseball Edwards. Here comes the 2-1. Upstairs for ball 3. After Berglund, it's Michael Banks, the third baseman. And looking at both rosters, Banks is the only class of 2027 representative. The 3-1 driven up the middle. It is going to sneak through into center field, and they are going to send Morton home, and he is in there. A big RBI single for Bobby Berglund, and that is going to make it a 4-2 ball game. And just like that, the deficit has been cut in half. Nice work from Berglund, getting on just like Morton and Lasecki. This offense starting to really heat up. And you compare their first 3 at-bats to T3's. Single, walk, single for the Warhawks. Triple, E4, which still would have scored a run, and single for Ohio Elite. So pretty much the same exact game script. You compare it, a walk for T3 instead of an error, so still a free pass. And then a triple in the leadoff slot instead of a single for Ohio Elite. But on paper, 3 up, 3 on. Driven up the middle, blocked on the mound. They're going to have to throw to 1, and that throw is going to be in time for the first out of the bottom of the inning. Nice work by Petro on the mound, able to knock that one down, as that could have been costly. Anything that gets by into the outfield leaves the door open for extra damage. Now it is Sean Petrone, the DH, stepping in. Petrone, just like the rest of his teammates except for Banks, just finished up his junior campaign. However, he is the only representative of Gilmore Academy. Gilmore just down the road from University School, so those 2 programs know each other very, very well. Petro's 1-0. Runner's going to go. Swing and a miss. Throw down to third. It is on the money for out number 2. Nice work behind the dish by Weatherall to get that out. And now time called. And it looks like we will have an appeal over at third base. And now we're going to have a conference at home. So it looks like the question is, was the tag there? Which, at least from our angle, it looked like it clearly was. Now, there could be something else behind it. Not really sure on that part of it. But to me, it looked pretty clear-cut. But as they confer, the longer it goes on, the more and more likely we are to see a reversal. Berglund still at third. And now it's going to be a conversation with T3's coach. So we're going to swivel on over to get a glimpse of what's going on there. So a very interesting nuance. Something was there, and now the decision is reversed. He is in there. So it is a stolen bag for Berglund in the end. And opposed to having 2 down, it's 1 down. Run number 3, 90 feet away. And now you start to see just how important that decision was. But no surprise, the longer that went on, the more and more likely it was going to be deemed a reversal. And that is why it is a massive reversal. It is a gap hit for Petrone. He is going to third. He wants to replace Berglund there, and he is going to do so with ease. It's an RBI triple, and now the tying run is 90 feet away. And once again, that one call, massive ramifications. What a first inning. Plenty of offense to go around. 7 combined runs so far in, well, 1 half inning and then a third of another. Now it is Brandon Michener coming in, looking to tie up the game at 4. First pitch he faces is a strike on the outer edge. Just like Patron over at third base, Michener is the lone representative of his high school, that being Nordonia. We got to see a lot of, I would say, the future of the program at Nordonia on Sunday. A lot of nights in action at the Zips Invite. The 1-1, driven down the right field line, foul and out of play. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the top of the second inning, it is Melendez, Clark, and Lasigno. 9, 10, and 1 for the Warhawks. Petro's 1-2. It is low and stopped by Wetherill. But you can definitely tell he was frustrated by that reversal, was given the out initially, and then in the end having that taken away at such a big time. That's a heartbreaker. The 2-2 is down low in the dirt, and we are full. After Michener, it is Langford, the shortstop for OEB. Petro's payoff. It is off the plate for ball 4, and that will place runners at the corners with 1 down. We've already seen some base running trickery today from the T3 Warhawks. Now it might be time for Ohio Elite to try the trick as well. Runners at first and third. And a prime spot for the shortstop. Wouldn't be surprised to see some action on the delivery over at first base. Potentially a run down. He is going to go. Throw down is going to bounce. It's cut off. The play at the plate on the relay. Not in time, and he is in there. We are tied up at 4. What a gutsy call by Ohio Elite, and it pays off in the end. Wow. They expected the cutoff. They still send him, and somehow, in some way, Patron is in there. That is really impressive from him. He had to dive around that tag. Wetherill, nothing to take away from him, as that was an excellent effort from him, too. Now it is the go-ahead run at second base. If you were to be told that there would be a 4-4 ball game on hand, you would think that would be after 5 or 6 innings. Not still in the first. But here we are. Wave and a miss down low. A hefty chase from Langford. We mentioned the other portion of Stark County and Jackson a little bit ago. But now it is Langford representing green in the batter's box. Put a couple of players from Jackson on this roster. You have Morton. You also have the likes of Feather, who is not here to my knowledge. And then on top of that, you also have Oliveri. Still a hitter's count, 2-1. Petro's pitch. Wave and a miss. Count now 2-2. Keep in mind, still 1 down in the inning. After Langford, it is Bucci. And that would be the 8th hitter of the frame for Ohio Elites. Swing and a miss, and there is out number 2. Petro's first strikeout of the game. Go-ahead run at second base still, and that'll bring in James Bucci, the second baseman. Bucci, just like so many players on this roster, just finished up his junior campaign at University School. And this group, no matter what happens from here on out, will be forever immortalized. Throw back to 2. Not quite in time, but still a great idea from Petro. Back to University School, they did fall short at the final hurdle in the state championship game. But they, unless another team does win a state title for U.S., will be known as the greatest team in program history. And that is a honor that these guys will wear for the rest of their lives. No matter what happens, no matter if they have a career in baseball. I know they have a very, very talented player, I believe Deacon Nelson, who is going on off to Auburn in a few years. No matter what happens for these guys, they will always have that to fall back on, knowing that they did a great thing for that community over at US. US is a school that has been really overtaken by hockey over the past couple of years. But baseball finally picks it up and puts themselves right next to the hockey team. The 2-0 is in the strike zone now, 2-1 the count. And not to mention a beautiful campus off in the Pepper Pike / Hunting Valley area. Only downside about the baseball diamond, no real accessible internet. The 2-1 is wide for ball 3. After Bucci, it is Brian Lapp, the right fielder. And that would be the 9th hitter of the inning. Petros 3-1, wave and a miss, and we are full. A very, very long first inning. We got underway, I believe, at around 8:24, so that puts us at 35 minutes for one inning. The pitch is upstairs for ball 4, and that'll be the second walk of the inning, putting 2 on with 2 down. This has been a wild frame for Ohio Elite. Down 4 early, the defense couldn't really do much against the very powerful offense of T3. Now that is starting to change as they are back to where they want to be. Throwback to second. It's a lot closer than I think OEB wants it to be, but still, it is not going to be in time. But Brian Lapp, the right fielder, just finished up his junior campaign for Worcester, and that was a very good campaign for them. The Generals, another team who could take the next step next year, but losing so many top players, it is going to be tough for the Generals to have another campaign just like this one. And we've seen a couple of those guys, such as Lakowski, who's going to John Carroll, and Brady Bowen, who is going to Akron. Both of them playing for OEB Rundgren. And I believe both done with their summer campaigns for now. The 1-1 outside for ball 2. And combined, Lapp is the 17th batter of the inning. That is just wild. This start has been unprecedented, but for those who love offense, they will take it. 2-1 up high for ball 3. And I'll hold my hands up and be honest, I thought this was going to be a blowout based on the way it started. I expected T3 to come out here, silence the offense, come back out, played another 4 or 5, but that is far from the case right now. As things stand, it's as if it was 0-0. This inning will not matter. The only thing that it matters for is momentum, at least for now. Runners go, payoff pitch. It is hit over towards the right side. It is into right field. OEB will take the lead as it is an RBI single from Brian Lapp. Nicely done by OEB. The comeback is complete, but unfortunately for them, there is still a lot of game left to hold it. But once again, 2-strike hitting. It's timely hitting for this OEB offense. They're going that extra mile, taking that extra risk, and it has paid off in a big way so far. Still with 2 down, it is Zelenik, the catcher, stepping back in as he represents the number 10 hitter and the final man left to go this inning before we swivel back to the top with Lasecki. First pitch he sees is a strike. And keep in mind, Lasecki a long time ago got this inning underway with a big hit. And that hit was that triple that set the stage for the rest of the offense. Fly ball sent into right field. And it will be caught, and the side is retired. Melendez able to track that one down before it found enough grass to drop onto. But through 1, and a really obscure first inning at that. It is Ohio Elite coming from 4 behind to take a 5-4 lead. Once again, that was 1 inning. That's not a typo. 9 combined runs in 1 inning. If that is what sets the stage, then I can only be excited for what is up next. Looking on the mound, the call to the bullpen has been made, but more on our new noodle for OEB when we return. This is the 2025 Kent State / Akron Open on the SmeeSports YouTube channel in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com.
or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Welcome back to Olga Muro Field at Schoonover Stadium. Top of the second inning about to get underway. And so far, the story of the game has been offense. Nothing else. 9 combined runs in 1 inning. What else do we have in store for this game as long as it is running? First pitch of the inning is low for ball 1. And speaking of that pitch, that is the first one of the game for Brant Newberger, who has come into the game in relief of Ryan. Nice snag by Banks at third. His throw to 1 is true for out number 1. A nice snag over at third base. And that is far from an easy play to make. Just kind of throws out the hand and is able to snag it. Unfortunately, the replay is glitched for now. First pitch is going to miss. With 1 down, it is going back to the top of the order. Or excuse me, is that Clark now? I believe 2 balls, no strikes. We did have some technical difficulties for a second, so we do apologize. Now we should be back to normal. 2-0 is going to connect now. 2-1 the count. Carter Clark wearing number 21 just finished up his junior campaign at North Ridgeville. And North Ridgeville is yet another example of a surging program looking for that one breakthrough campaign. They won their conference a couple of years ago for the first time since 1975. But they want more. They want that deep playoff run. They want to make it to the regional tournament. This year they fell just short in the district final. Payoff, it is in there for strike 3 looking. 2 up, 2 down. Who'd have thought we'd be saying that given how this game started? This has just been a wild game. But it looks like, at least for the time being, defense is starting to become a player again. Back to the top we go for the Warhawks. This is Lasigno. First pitch up high for ball 1. Next inning for Ohio Elite, it is Lasecki, Morton, and Berglund, 1, 2, and 3. 1-0 is in there now, 1-1 the count. Definitely a very humid day. The heat not supposed to be as much of a factor as it has been this summer. I don't think we are expecting to get out of the 70s. That could change depending on the rain. That is the big outlier to look for in that regard. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. The 2-1 is in there now. 2-2 the counts. At least from our metrics, it has been pushed back a little bit more. So there is a chance that we can get through this game at least. Here's the 2-2. It is off the plate wide right. And we are full. But Brant Newberger has been good so far since coming in. And that is what you want to see. A steady arm coming out of the bullpen. Cam Ryan, not his best outing, but something to learn from as the summer is coming to a close. Payoff pitch, it is skied, and it is going to go out of play. And pinged down below us in the main bowl. Count remains full. Looking at the rest of our schedule, Friday and Saturday, we will have games at 9:30 and 12. One of those days, we should be at Andrews Osborne. The other day at Jackson. And then on Sunday, we will be at Jackson for the NABF World Series Championships. Swing and a miss, and the side is retired. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brant Newberger, and the inning is over. T3, after scoring 4 runs in the first, goes 1, 2, and 3 in the second. Middle of 2 in Kent. OEB up 5-4 on the T3 Warhawks. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Bottom of the second inning brings us back to where we started the bottom of the first. 1, 2, and 3. Lasecki, Morton, and Berglund for Ohio Elite. This offense, they looked dangerous in that first inning, plating 5. The question is, was that a fluke or can they do it again? Fly ball sent down the right field line, and it is going to be caught in foul territory for out number 1. And that is a good start for the defense of the T3 Warhawks. And speaking of their defense, it is Petro on the mound, Wetherill behind the dish, Afferink at first, Weber at second, Lasigno at short, Joseph at third, Graham in left, Hykov in center, and Melendez in right. And that sets up the defense for the Warhawks. 1 up, 1 down, and things now turn to Morton. First pitch from Petro is on the outer edge for strike 1. Unlike OEB, T3 has kept in their starting pitcher. Petro is going to pitch, at least for the time being. We will see how long of a leash he has. But we have seen it quite often this summer where a guy has a tough start to the game, but after a couple of solid innings, they look at that opposed to the start, and that is what they kind of judge from that leash. It's semi-long, but at the same time, there is some limitations. And mainly those limitations, it's quite simple. If they look like how they pitched in the first, they're gone. If they look like the innings following, they stay in. And that, I think, is a very fair parting line for a lot of these guys. One inning should not define the performance. Sometimes it does, but most times these guys are given a chance for redemption, and that is what Petro has here. The 3-1 is up and in for ball 4, and for the second time today, Morton will reach. Good patience in the box by the number 2 hitter, able to draw a walk this time, not having to rely on the error to get on. And with 1 down, that'll bring up Bobby Berglund, the EH. 1 for 1 in this game with an RBI single and a stolen base to his name. Petro looking to get out of the inning and potentially force a double play, but that is not going to be the case. It is a pass ball. Berglund now has a runner in scoring position to work with. Good work at first by Morton reading that down angle. It's easy to do, but applying it to the actual game, it does take a little bit of skill. You have to know, okay, what is the limitation? How far does the ball need to go before I can comfortably get in there safe? Most guys have that in the back of their mind, but if you don't, that is a must. The 1-0. Redemption 1-1 the count. The sun has come and gone so far this morning at Schoonover Stadium. I got here at around 6:45 a.m. and the sun was out and shining at that point. Since then, it has come and it has gone. And that is what you would expect. Once again, initially the Stormers were expected to start at around 9:15. Now they are guessing 10. Here comes the 2-1. Fly ball sent into foul territory off to the right side. Afferink underneath it. He will take it in for out number 2. Looking ahead to the top of the third inning, Weber, Afferink, and Graham, 2, 3, and 4 set to hit for the T3 Warhawks. Now it is the third baseman, Michael Banks, stepping back in. 0 for 1 in this game with a ground out to Petro. That ground out was more of Petro playing the self-defense role, knocking down the ball before it got past him or even worse, hit him. And he was able to get the out at first. First pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count. Like I mentioned last time he was up, Michael Banks is the only class of 2027 representative on either roster in this game. Runner will go, and he is easily safe. So Morton now with his first stolen bag of the game makes it where some insurance is not too far away. Banks just needs to get a single here, and it will be 6-4. But that is easier said than done. The offense is kind of taking a step back in this frame. Not a bad thing. It's just something they have to work with. They go from the dynamic of scoring run after run to scoring nothing. Banks fouls that one off. Now 2-2 the count. As this game goes on, especially with the offense, we will look to get a couple of key guys on our radar as we will have our player of the game presented by the Healthiest U Chiropractic Center once this one goes final. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It is going to be just off the plate into the other batter's box, and we are full. Good patience from Banks. That pitch from Petro wasn't too far off the plate, but a good approach, kept his head level, and stayed in the right mindset. And he will have an opportunity here on the payoff pitch, and that opportunity is well taken. It is an RBI single for Michael Banks, and that'll make it a 6-4 ball game. Nicely done by Banks. Good rip off to the left side. And that is more than enough to bring in the run. And with 2 down, that'll now bring in Patron. Patron already with a triple today. This time around, he will sky that one shallowly into center field. Called off and caught by Lusigno, and the side is retired. Michael Banks still gets the job done, bringing in an extra run for insurance. Through 2 at Schoonover Stadium. It is OEB up 6-4 on the T3 Warhawks.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest U Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest U Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
As we get back to the action in the third inning, just to explain what happened there, I was testing out the replay button, as for those who have been paying attention, it has not been working. It appears that as we added some cameras last night, things did get placed out of order. So now with that folder on top of the cameras, I am hoping that will present it in the right way. I don't really know. I'm going to move it up one more time just to be sure. But we will test that soon here, and hopefully it will work. And hopefully from here on out we will have the replays working. Once again, we do apologize for that. 1-1 the count to begin the inning on Weber. He'll pop that one foul off to the left side. Now 1-2 the count. But for those just joining us, OEB scored 5 runs in the first, T3 scoring 4, made it a 5-4 game. In the bottom of the second inning, Banks, the third baseman, able to hit an RBI single, and that makes it 6-4. Speaking of hit, Weber almost gets nipped, but in the end, he is able to get out of the way. He thought it maybe grazed him, but in the end, his movement was enough to get out of the way. Count now 2-2. And that time, Newberger will miss slightly off the plate for ball 3, and we are full. And going back to the change, I do like when the decision was made. You can save Ryan's arm for later on in this tournament, and that could be a good redemption start for him if that opportunity does come about. Payoff pitch, ground ball hit weakly towards second. Throw to 1 is in time for out number 1. Nice work on the stretch over at 1. And here is the moment of truth. Yeah, we have a replay once again. Look at that. Fixing it on the fly. I did the math last night. I do the work of 10 people at once, so very glad that one of the things finally did work out in favor of the good camera angles, as there you see it on the replay. Beautiful. We have replay once again. And speaking of beautiful, that was a very nice play over at second base by Bucci. Had a charge that had an awkward angle coming to the ball, but in the end, he was able to make the play. Now it is Afferink stepping in 1-for-1 in this game with an RBI single. And he also has a couple of putouts over in foul territory at first. Newberger sets and delivers. And that time he is going to miss a close miss off the plate. Still a good challenging spot. Good take from Afferink. Patience is going to be big in this game. Line drive off to the right side, and that is a 1-out single for Afferink. And he does the right thing there, just running through the bag to make sure he is in there. You never know on a relay attempt from the outfield. We've seen it this summer where the ball has gotten in so quick that all of a sudden, boom, you get the out. One-on-one down, and that is going to put a runner in scoring position on the pass ball. It is Lucas Graham stepping in 1-for-1 with an RBI single in this game. Once again, top of the third inning, 6-4 OEB on top, and what has been a heavily offensive affair. And this is kind of what we expected to happen after the first inning. Things to kind of calm down a little bit. Not completely, but just enough. And that is exactly what has happened. Fly ball sent into shallow right field. Now more than anything, shallow second base. And it is caught by Bucci for out number 2. Those sorts of pop-ups are always tough to read over at second. You never know if the ball is going to stay on in the infield or carry on over into the outfield. In that case, it does stay in the infield, and either way, Bucci able to get there with ease. And that is the benefit of being versatile. If you can play like an outfielder on the infield, that definitely helps you in a situation like that. And even more so here, as that one is pieced into right field. They're going to send Afferink home, and the ball is cut off at first. It is going to be an RBI single from Hykov. He now has 2 RBIs today. And all of a sudden, it is a 1-run game. Nicely done, as they're able to get that big run to come across. And the tying run now stands at first base for the T3 Warhawks. And just based on where that ball was, I'm surprised that they didn't have a relay attempt at home. I believe in the end, the right call was made. But still, Kind of surprised not to see them at least try at home. First pitch, a strike to Dooley, 0-1 the count. Last time we saw the EH, he reached on a walk. In the bottom of the inning, it's Michener, Langford, and Bucci, 6, 7, and 8. Fly ball sent foul. Count now 0-2. And a loud, startling bang beneath us. And I believe we are out of baseballs for the time being. And looking at the time, we did start this one early, so we should be around an hour in. That means the time limit will be put into effect at around 10:24. And given when the rain's supposed to hit, I kind of think this one is going to be, if we can get it to around an hour and a half, it's going to count. Runner goes on the 0-2. It is outside for ball one. Throw down. Not in time. He is in there. Very, very close down at second base. We're going to take a second look, but Hykov, the tying run, now in scoring position. Nice speed and on a bold, bold play, no less. And yeah, I think he's just in there. So Hykov, if he can use some speed on a ball put in play, he could score. Ground ball chopped over towards short. Throw to one is going to be in time, and the side is retired. Nice work by OEB, able to get that final out to avoid any further damage. But still, Hykov able to put another run on the board. T3 now down by 1. OEB up 6-5. It is an offensive sprint on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Brandon Michener steps in to get things underway in the bottom of the third inning. It is a combined 11 runs so far. OEB up 6-5 on the T3 Warhawks. First pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count. This frame for OEB, it is 6, 7, and 8. Michener, Langford, and Bucci. Fly ball sent into deep right field, but it is tracked down and caught by Melendez for out number 1. That was one great effort out in right field. Kind of had to get up on a hop to track it down. Maybe not the most unorthodox, or maybe more of an unorthodox play out in right, but it gets the job done and just good composure shown. 1 up, 1 down, and Landon Langford will now step in. Langford so far 0 for 1 with a strikeout. But he will start up 1-0 in the count as that pitch misses well off. Up next after this game, it is the Midwest Stars Knox taking on Release Edwards at 10:45. Wave and a miss on the 1-0, now 1-1 the count. Kind of a surprise the sun's still out here at Schoonover Stadium. It has made for a pleasant morning of baseball. 1-1 misses wide for ball 2. This is the first game of this tournament, so even more than a usual pool play game, this is a pivotal tie. If one of these teams can get a big win that sets the tempo and makes them the team to watch for everybody else, they only play one game today. So this is the only way they can open up the tournament. The 2-2 grounded to short, picked up, throw to one is high, but in time as he is able to stay on the bag for out number 2. Nice work over at first base by Aferink. A tight one as that could have gone south if he didn't stay on. But in the end, you'll see it on the replay, able to stay established. And that is one of the toughest things the first baseman can do, as you'll see there. Just kind of has to go up on his tippy toes to get to that one, but he makes the play. First pitch fouled away, 0-1 the count. James Bucci, the second baseman, stepping back in, 0 for 0 in this game as he walked his first time up, but defensively he has been outstanding. A lot of great plays over at second base. The 0-1 skips behind to the backstop. Now 1-1 the count. And at least for the time being, no players from Release Edwards or the Midwest Stars are here. Now they could potentially be coming in soon, but we do not know. They are on in around an hour. But we'll see what time they get here. The 1-1 driven down the right field line, but going foul. Looking at that roster, a lot of players from Stark County. They, I'm sure, are on their way, and same with the Cleveland ones. The hope is the Storms hold off so we can get their game in too. Obviously, with so many games happening today, you hope to stay on track and you hope just to beat out the weather. And especially for the guys who have to travel, you hope that they can get the word in time if there is a delay. There are lights here that are being used right now that could matter down the stretch. The pitch misses low. Good take. Looking ahead to the top of the 4th inning for the Warhawks, it is Joseph, Wetherill, and Melendez, 7, 8, and 9. Check swing. Did he go? The answer down the line is no. So that will keep the inning going. Very, very close. Bucci almost ended the inning a little bit early. Now a payoff pitch from Petro. It is off the plate for ball 4. And with 2 down, we have our first base runner of the bottom of the inning. Good patience by Bucci, and going back to that check swing. Really good that he was able to hold that one back. If not, the inning would have ended and we won't know what would have happened here. Now it is Brian Lapp, the right fielder, stepping back in. First pitch is low for ball 1. Trying to get a glimpse into the bullpen of the Warhawks. Can't really see it clearly right now, but there could be some action down there. We will see. Throwback to 1 is not going to be in time. Good idea, but just not quick enough. Runner goes the 1-0. It is in there now. 1-1 wide left, and it is going to skip into left field. And it is going to be late over towards third. It is a 2-base steal. Kind of in the left center. It took that awkward hit, and the aggression of Bucci pays off. Once again, going back to the point made, if he did not hold back that swing on the 2-2, we would not be seeing this, and this is an opportunity for OEB to reestablish their cushion. Up by 1, it is not an easy place to be, especially as we are nearing the halfway point. You want to have that extra piece of insurance, just like the defense did have in the top of the inning. And that gives them some breathing room and doesn't make it as stressful of a situation. Driven down the line in right, and it is going to be a fair ball. It is going to be extra bases for Lapp. He is cruising into second. Nay, he is going to third, and he is going to be in there standing. It is a big RBI triple for Brian Lapp, and the insurance run is tacked back on. T3 got one back in the top. OEB responds in the bottom. And once again, going back to that 2-2 check swing. Now, that is the full importance of it. Just to think, a couple of extra inches over the plane, and that inning was over. But not quite now. First pitch tipped foul by Zelenik. 0-1 the count. But 7-5 OEB in the driver's seat. The 0-1 chopped foul down the left field line. Now 0-2. And off to our left, we do have our first player making their arrival at Kent State, and it is for the Midwest Stars. The 0-2 ground ball chopped over towards second. Throw to one is going to be in time, and the side is retired. Nice work by the defense, able to get the final out and end the inning, but not before Brian Lapp responds with an RBI triple. Through 3 in Kent, it is Ohio Elite up 7-5 on the T3 Warhawks. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Three innings complete in game number 1 of the day. It is Ohio Elite hanging on to their 7-5 lead. That lead has been tested throughout this game since they took it back in the bottom of the first inning. They've had to play up by 1 a couple of times, but the insurance, they have come in with some big hits at the right time. And right now that puts them up by 2. Keep in mind they did trail 4-0 early on in this game as T3 had an excellent offensive start. Since then, the offense has had their fair share of struggles. The 0-2 ground ball hit over towards third. Throw to one is going to be in time, and there is out number 1. Nice throw across the diamond from Banks. And that is a great way to begin the inning. Very similar to how we saw the second begin. Getting that initial out is vital. You see it happen once, and now you know you can do it again. And Banks, you see that excellent range, throwing out over to 1, and an excellent stretch from Michener. All the way around, nicely done. And with 1 down, that'll bring in Wetherill. Ground ball hit over towards short. Throw to 1 is going to be in time, and there is out number 2. The left side of the infield getting some early reps as we near the halfway point of the game. Back-to-back putouts from that side. Now it is Daniel Melendez, the right fielder, stepping in. Melendez so far in the game 0 for 1 with a ground out, you guessed it, to the left side of the infield. So if there was ever to be an inning where the left side made all 3 plays, it is probably here. But not a guarantee. First pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Excellent work from Newberger since coming in. 2 strikeouts and nearly 3 innings of work. Weak chop off to the right side. Throw to 1 is going to be on the money, and the side is retired. Nice work up the middle. Good communication, and in the end, the play is made. T3 goes in order in the top of the 4th inning. Middle of 4, halfway point of this one. It is Ohio Elites up 7-5 on the T3 Warhawks. This is the 2025 Kent State/Akron Open on the SmeeSports YouTube channel in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Time now for the call to the bullpen, as it is Jason Chestnut coming in place of Petro for the T3 Warhawks. Petro, 3 innings of work, 7 runs allowed, 1 strikeout. Right now he is in line to be the losing pitcher in this game unless his offense can bring it back to a no decision. Right now it is Chestnut trying to keep the offense of OEB at bay, as once again it is the top of the order stepping in. 3rd inning today that the 1, 2, and 3 are your 1, 2, and 3 hitters. A very interesting dynamic as Lasecki is back in, looking to do some more damage, more in line with what he did the first time up, and that was get a massive triple to kickstart the bottom of the 1st inning. And that triple did set the stage for the rest of the offense that did happen that inning. The 1-0 misses inside, now 2-0. Chestnut, the rising senior, just finished up his campaign at Firestone in Akron. We saw his teammate Nate Plass a couple of days ago at Akron for a Zips invite game. 2-0 fouled away, now 2-1 the count. To our left and down below it is the Midwest Stars starting to get ready for their game, scheduled for around 10:45 a.m. And looking at the time limit for this one, we have until around 10:20 to start a new inning. 2-1 upstairs for ball 3. So odds are we will not play a full 7 in this game. It just depends on how this finish happens and how quick it goes. Chestnut's 3-1. It is wide right for ball 4, and the leadoff man is aboard for OEB. Good patience from Lasecki this time out as he is able to easily reach. You see him getting a fist bump from his first base coach. As he gets his lead, it is Brady Morton stepping in. Morton so far in this game has reached on 2 free passes, 1 error, 1 walk. First pitch on the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. Good work from Chestnut, able to respond after allowing an early base runner. The goal for T3 is simple. You can allow as many guys on as possible as long as none of them score. The 0-1 is wide, and so is the throwdown. Count now 1-1, and that is a stolen base for Lasecki. Kind of an awkward grip from the catcher. I kind of think Weatherill had too much behind it, let go too late, and that then resulted in the ball bouncing in too early. Chestnuts 1-1. Driven towards the left side. It is through into left field, and that is going to put runners at the corners, nobody out, and that'll bring in Bobby Berglund. Excellent piece of hitting from Morton, piecing it off to the left side. And now, once again, setting up that first and third, OEB can employ some trickery. Berglund so far 1 for 2, an RBI single, a stolen base, and a pop-out. Nobody better for OEB to strike here. He does have the power, and he just has that know-how about him. And that know-how, half the time, is half the battle. Runners at first and third. Runner from first is going to go. Berglund hits it foul, 0-1 the count, and that'll send Morton right back to 1. And now time is called, and we are going to have a mound visit. Obviously, it is early. This is probably just to settle down the nerves, but still interesting to see it here. At the same time, it could be to put on a first and third play. I feel like that is the more likely of it, as they want to make sure they get this done right. They know a botched first and third here pretty much puts the game with OEB. And on top of that, with some time to spare and some offense left in the tank, that botched first and third might be enough to spur on the rally that ends the game here. It would take a lot for that to happen. They would need 8 runs this inning, but 6 runs puts the pressure on T3 to have to score again in the 5th, which from what we've seen today is not out of the realm of possibility. 0-1 the count, and now time called by Chestnut. I believe Berglund may have called time as well, but there was no big designation behind the dish. And looking over at Morton at first, he is the big man to watch here. Will he take off or will he stay put? He will go, but once again it goes foul. Berglund tried getting out of the way. And unfortunately for Morton, he has to go back. But that is a big break for the Warhawks. Now in 0-2, you have a chance to get that first out of the inning. First and third, you could get that double play ball, and the side is retired, no damage done. But a lot of that hinges on this pitch. Here's the 0-2, runner stays put, and the pitch is going to miss upstairs for ball 1. Now I think with a little bit of time since running, we will see Morton take off. It depends, though, on if the situation is right. And now I think that's a balk. Yes, it is. And that is going to bring in run number 8. It looked like he stepped off or tried to, but the moment he landed on the turf, he knew it was a balk. We're going to watch it back here to see exactly what he did. He sets up there. Goes up and down. There it is. Based on that, I kind of think he thought it was done. I think that he thought time was called, but in the end, that was not the case. Just an unfortunate way to have that 8th run come in. Now a 3-run lead for OEB, and now a 2-2 count on Berglund. Chestnut will try again for out number 1, but this time is called. And I like that he stayed on the mound this time. He wanted to make sure you could never be too safe with the balk, especially in a game like this. You have to make sure you're doing everything right down to a T. Here comes the 2-2. Driven over towards short. It is through into center field. And once again, that is going to put runners at the corners. Not quite. They're sending the runner from third home, and he is in there. 9-5 now your score. It is a single, and on a slight error in the outfield on the fielding, that brings in the run. Excellent work from Berglund. Made it a 2-2, baited the balk, and in the end gets the job done by ripping a single into the outfield. That is a QAB, and that is what US likes to do, and that is what they did so well this season. No matter the at-bat, they made it worthwhile, and there it is on display with one of their finest. First pitch to Banks is in the dirt for ball 1. Last time we saw Banks, he ripped an RBI single into the outfield after, just like Berglund, a great battle. This OEB team is playing a tremendous game, and keep in mind, they trailed early 4-0. They didn't let that get them down, and Right now, they are making amends for that and then some. Since the top of the first inning, 9-1. And for those playing along at home with our score and nuances of this tournament, 8-run lead after 5 would be enough for the run rule. If that top of the first inning didn't happen, it would be there. Runner is going to go. Throw down is high. Almost come off the bag, though. He's able to stay on, but that would have been really bad if he came off and if the ball stayed in. But in the end, it does take a skip on into the outfield. A couple of wayward throws so far in this game. A lot of tough breaks for this T3 defense. They will have a lot of things to look at heading into their next game of pool play. But they will have plenty of time to do it as they do not play again today. 2-1, runner goes again, pieced into right field, and it is going to get down, but foul. That was a very bold hit and run. It almost worked out. Once again, just to remind you all watching on at home, we are not done for the day after this, as next up, it should be a fun battle between the Midwest Stars Knox squad and Release Edwards. And we've seen Release Edwards a couple of times this summer. They have so much talent on that roster. You could drop them in a Division III conference, and I think they'd win it. They have that much pedigree on that roster, and it is really tremendous to see how they work. 2-2, runner goes. Once again, fly ball hit into right field. It is going to be caught for out number 1. Throw to second is high. It is going to be late, and it is going to skip away. But because of the toss-up over at second base, he is going to have to stay put. I think he wanted an interference call there. Wasn't going to get it. Lucky to get back in time. Nothing to take away, though, from that throw. It was a great one, just too much behind it. But I give a lot of credit to Melendez. In a game like this, down by 4, if that ball gets by and he still gets third, then so be it. But this squad, they are not going down without a fight, and I feel like that is a positive to take out of this game. It sounds cliche. It sounds kind of like we're dumbing down what's going on, but that's not at all what it is. Baseball is a game of headspace, and you have to take positives from every result. It tips off the glove. Throw to 1 is in time, and there is your average, ordinary, everyday 1-4-3 putout for out number 2. I believe on the actual scorecard that would give credit to the pitcher. Still, Berglund able to advance to third at long last, and with 2 down, he is 90 feet away from becoming the 10th run of the game for Ohio Elite. And it is Michener trying to bring him in. And he will do so on the pass ball. It is now 10-5 Ohio Elite. And the bases are cleared. Anytime you get your leadoff man aboard and anytime you get really anybody on, your goal is to bring them around and just keep it going. Bases cleared. If this is the final at-bat of the inning, mission complete. When we go into the 5th, it's Clark, Lasigno, and Weber. 10-1-2 for the T3 Warhawks. The 1-0 from Chestnut fouled back now, 1-1 the count. And unless T3 scores, OEB would need 3 more runs to end the game. And looking at the time, that might be their friend as well. I said we probably will not see 7 in this game. We did start early due to the rain that is expected. And that gives us an earlier finish, which could be in around a half an hour, maybe 25 minutes. But T3's offense, they have already had that one big inning. They just need to do it again, and that will make this a very competitive game once again. This does not have to end as a run rule kind of game. This can be a 10-9 thriller. This could be a 12-10 game. And that is the beauty of pool play. You get these really obscure games that if these teams played each other in a championship, it'd be, I would say, a lot closer, or the polar opposite, a lot further away. Just a lot of weird things happening in pool play. You'll see teams lose by 10, 12 runs to a team that they turn around in the championship round and then beat. It happens all too often, and we've seen it this summer. 4-0 teams getting demolished in their championship rounds because they're out of pitching. And as I said, there's only so much time that we can say this season still, as in a week and a half from now, our summer ball coverage will come to a close. Not much time left before the end of the summer. Here comes the 2-2 driven foul. After today, maybe 5 or 6 more days at most of games. Still this week, we have 3 more on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 2 games Friday and Saturday at either AOA or Jackson. Minerva could also be thrown in there. And on Sunday at Jackson, we have 3 games for the championships of the 16U NABF World Series. Next week, we could have some pool play games from the 4th Kent State Invite. If not, it's the Collegiate NABF World Series, and then we're done. 2-2 up high for ball 3, and we are full. So that puts our final baseball broadcast of the summer on July 27th. And then from there, we will see what kind of coverage we have before fall starts. Payoff pitch. It is on the edge. Strike 3 looking, and the side is retired. First strike out of the game from Jason Chestnut retires the side. OEB's offense, they are able to add on some insurance through 4 in Kent. It is OEB up 10-5 on the T3 Warhawks. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium for the top of the 5th inning. It is Ohio Elites up 10-5 on the T3 Warhawks. For those just tuning in, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. First pitch of the 5th is in the zone for strike 1. 10-1-2 this inning for the Warhawks. It is Clark, Lasigno, and Weber. The 0-1 misses low, now 1-1 the count. As of now, this is game 1 of 5 today. Still 4 more contests left to go, but we will see if we do end up playing them or not. The 1-1 up high for ball 2. We've talked about it all broadcast. The big wild card is the rain. Is it actually going to happen, or is it a hoax? Right now, it does appear to be overcast. It is getting cloudy. We will see, though. The goal always was to get 1 game in, and it seems, at least for now, we are close. And if not, we got pretty close to getting done, as we are maybe 25 minutes away from the time limit being reached. So this could well and truly be the final inning. That would be the case, though, if OEB does plate 3 in the bottom. The payoff pitch from Newberger, swing and a miss, and there is out number 1. Brent Newberger's 3rd strikeout of the game. Since coming in for Cam Ryan, he has done a tremendous job. That is the definition of being ready when your number is called. I don't think Newberger expected to come in and pitch in this game, especially as early as he did. He got called upon going to the bullpen, and he has really produced in a big way. Since he has come in, only has allowed 1 run. And that is in 3 innings of work so far, now 3 1/3. But still some work left to do before this one is done and over with. 1-0 up high for ball 2. In the on-deck circle for the Warhawks, it is Easton Weber. So far, Lasigno, a single, a stolen base, and a strikeout. On the 2-0, he fouls it back, now 2-1 the count. The 2-1 is going to miss. A close miss from Newberger, but it is 3-1. And once again, I will make the point that I've made a couple of times throughout this broadcast. We had the stadium lights on in the morning. That tells us a lot about the weather. 3-1 fouled away, and we will have another payoff pitch. And as well, for those who did not see it, the infamous Andrew Cole clip has now made it on over to Shaquille O'Neal's social media page, as that graced his story yesterday. So very interesting. Unfortunately, it was a rip-off video of ours, so we'll take that as a grain of salt and take it as it is. Annoying not to receive credit, but that is just the nature of the clip, and people nowadays just steal it and don't care. But still very cool to see that one of our clips, albeit without credit, made it to that page, as that is a big milestone. Payoff pitch, fouled over the box. So we will see it again. And I believe, have some bad news, as, yep, there it is. We're getting some precipitation. Not ideal. Payoff one more time. Driven into right field, and it is going to be caught. And that is out number 2. A great battle, but finally Lapp wins it over in right. It is a pair of generals combining for the out. Newberger on the bump and Lapp out in right. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring in Easton Weber, the second baseman, a walk and a ground out to his name today. The lefty has had a solid outing so far. First pitch on the inside edge hits. Now 0-1 the count. Looking ahead to the bottom of the inning, it's Langford, Bucci, and Lapp trying to end this one. Ground ball hit over towards first, but foul. Count now 0-2. And that sets Newberger up with an opportunity to potentially get his 4th strikeout of the game. As well, stay with us after our final commercial break when this one goes final. Then we will announce our player of the game, presented by CrossFit Strongsville. Here comes the 0-2. And they're not going to give it. That'll be ball 1. A very good miss from Newberger. At least from up here, it did look very convincing. But then again, on field level, it could be a completely different story. The 1-2, that time he brings it inside, gets the strikeout, and the side is retired. Strikeout number 4 today from Brant Newberger, and the inning is over. Once again, it is the Warhawks going in order. Ohio Elite's defense, they have finally found their rhythm, and now if the offense can find theirs one final time, they can walk out of here 1-0 in pool play. Middle of 5 in Kent. It is Ohio Elite up 10-5 on T3. You are watching the 2025 Kent State/Akron Open on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Bottom of the 5th inning at Kent State's Schoonover Stadium. It is Ohio Elite up 10-5 on the Warhawks. For those just joining us, I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. 7, 8, and 9, Langford, Bucci, and Lapp hitting this inning for OEB as they are 3 runs away from getting a run rule victory after 5 innings. The 0-1 runs inside, now 1-1 the count. And just given how this game has gone, I believe Chestnut is going to stay on regardless of the outcome here. Devoting a third arm to this game would be really tough for T3, as this is only the first game of pool play. I would say in the first game, 2 or less is kind of that goal. 2 or 1, that's really where you want to be. Specifically, you want to be in that 1 slot, but both sides, they have had to go away from that. But to be fair, if we're going for overall arm use, and if they can come back again, only one guy cannot for OEB, and that is Newberger, as Ryan only threw 1 inning. He should be eligible to come back out again for redemption at some point in this competition. The 3-1 is driven foul, and we are full. Stick with us after this game as we have our second contest of the day. It is Release Baseball Edwards taking on the Midwest Stars Knox squad. That is a battle of a 16U versus 17U squad. Edwards the 17U and the 16U Knox. The payoff pitch, it is in there for strike 3 looking, and out number 1 has been recorded. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for Chestnut, spinning back to last inning. 1 up, 1 down, and that'll bring in Bucci, the second baseman. If the game works like this, there is a chance we do see the 7th inning. But right now, looking at the time and where we are in the bottom of the 5th, I would say 6 is kind of our maximum. And if you're a T3, your offense has to play with that in mind. They have to assume they need 5 runs to tie in the 6th. And if they get that, then most likely that will be the final inning, because that would take a lot of time. Good drive over to second base, but caught for out number 2. Hard hit ball, but directly hit to Weber. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring in Brian Lapp, the right fielder. 2 hits so far in this game, an RBI single and an RBI triple to his name. And he also does have a putout or 2 in right. So a good, well-rounded game from the right fielder. Chestnut's first pitch is a strike, 0-1 the count. Looking ahead to the next inning, it is Alfarink, Graham, and Hykov. The 0-1 sails up, now 1-1 the count. Outside of our next game, we also do have our Player of the Game presentation brought to you by CrossFit Strongsville. After this game goes final, and after our final commercial break, fly ball sent into deep right field. It'll be tracked down and caught by Melendez, and the side is retired. Both squads going 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. To the 6th inning we go at Schoonover Stadium. Ohio Elite firmly in control, up 10-5 on the T3 Warhawks.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Before we get back into the action, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor broadcasts in the Cleveland or Stark County area, contact us at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. Thank you to the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center and CrossFit Strongsville for sponsoring today's broadcasts. First pitch will miss wide for ball 1. Newberger remains on the mound for the 6th inning, as he will have Afarenk, Graham, and Hykov 3, 4, and 5 to face in the frame. The 1-0 ground ball hit over to third. picked up by Banks. His throw to one. It will skip wide of the first baseman, Michener, and into second base is Afferink. It is a leadoff E5 for the first baseman. Michener just unable to pick that one. It was always going to be in a tough spot. But putting the leadoff man in scoring position on an error is a tough break. But OEB, this defense, they've shown resolve today. The question is, do they still have it as this game is nearing its conclusion? Lucas Graham, the left fielder, back in, trying to move Afferink along. First pitch low for ball one. Lucas Graham wearing number 28. We talked about him a little bit ago. He just finished up his junior campaign for the Final Four, Perrysburg. 1-0 in there now, 1-1 the count. And Perrysburg is a team that brings back a lot of their key players next year. They could be a team that goes back to Canal Park and potentially gets a little bit further, as they could be a team that contends for that title. But a lot of different teams to look out for next year. A lot of young groups up and coming. You'll see who ends up getting those places at Canal Park. Only 28 available across 7 divisions. So very, very few teams and very few players get that opportunity. 1-2 strikes the count on Graham. In the on-deck circle, it is Hykov. The pitch, swing and a miss, and there is out number 1. Strikeout number 5 today from Brant Newberger. Newberger has been great all afternoon since coming in for Cam Ryan. It was always going to be tough coming in and trying to settle things down, but he has done a great job answering that call so far. Hykov back in, 2 for 2, 2 RBIs. He's looking to make it 3 for 3 here. First pitch off to the right for ball 1. Something else to note about this diamond, you see it on your screen right now. There is a carpet of turf down the middle of the mound, but off to each side, that is real dirt. The 1-0 connects now, 1-1 the count. That was a design choice left in after Kent State did get fully turfed. And now the diamond, the way it is one of the best in the area. The 1-1 once again will connect, now 1-2 the count. Next inning for Ohio Elite, it is Zelenik, Lasecki, and Morton, 10-1 and 2. Runner at second, 1 down. The pitch, just gonna miss. A little bit high, now 2-2 the count. Looking at our time limit, OEB, they will have a little bit of time to kill in the bottom of the inning to get this one over with. Driven foul. But still with only 1 down, that is the furthest thing from their mind. Right now their focus is getting out of the inning at hand. That always has to be the focus of these teams. They have to be ready to get out of the inning that they're currently in and then focus on the next. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Newberger looking for strikeout number 6. Won't get it, but it is going to be skied into shallow left center. Called off at short by Langford, and he is able to catch it for out number 2. Good work by the shortstop, manning his territory, calling off the ball, and in the end, making the play. Now Carter Dooley, the EH, steps in. A walk and a ground out to his name so far. And as the EH, one of your main tasks is to get on 50% successful today. First pitch low for ball 1. No action in the OEB bullpen, and I'm not really surprised just given how this game has gone. You have a cushion even if Newberger does let up and allows a couple of runs. Your offense has done enough to put you in the spot to win. Runner will go. Throw down to third is on the money. The tag is there, and the side is retired. Nicely done behind the dish by Zelenik, and the inning is over. Making the final out on the bases on a play like that is always a tough break, but Zelenik once again gets that job done. His second throw out of the game. He has been tremendous, and there is the throw. The tag came along with it, and it was a no-doubter down the line. Middle of 6 at Schoonover Stadium. Ohio Elite on top, 10-5. This is the 2025 Kent State/Akron Open on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Ohio Elite's offense looking to put this game to bed in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 10-1-2, swinging the bat this inning, and regardless of what happens, this will be their final ups in this contest. Not a bad game offensively for them at all. Obviously, defense a little bit more to be desired early on in the game, but for the most part, this has been a great team performance, a lot of good to work from, but the job is far from done in this tournament. They still have 3 more pool play games, and depending on how bracket play goes, they could have to play a whole host of games on Sunday. The 1-1 sent into right field. Melendez is there, and he is able to retrieve it for out number 1. And that is back-to-back putouts from the right fielder, spanning back to last inning. Back to the top of the order we go with Lasecki. So far today, Xavier Lasecki, the rising senior at Kirtland, a triple, a flyout, and a walk. He has been really good, and going back to the bottom of the 1st inning, that leadoff triple set the stage for everything else that has happened in this game. And this time, he will get hit by a pitch. That is his 3rd unique way of reaching safely in this game. Walk, hard 90, triple. And he is going to make his way down the line to first. You can tell he is still grimacing in some pain. Obviously not easy to wear that one off of the back, but it does appear that he is okay as he does exchange a word or two with his coach. After the hard 90, Brady Morton steps back in. First pitch is wide, and Lasecki is going to head on over into second base. Run number 11 now in scoring position for Ohio Elite. Looking at the rising senior at Jackson Morton. So far today, he has reached on an error. He has walked and he has singled. So just like Lasecki, he has reached in 3 unique ways. Chestnuts 1-0. Driven into right field, well foul. Count now 1-1. Once again, stay with us after our final commercial break. When this game goes final, then we will announce our player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville. And then after that, we will be getting ready for game number 2 of the day. It is going to be the Midwest Stars taking on Release Edwards. And in the meantime, that is going to bring in run number 11. Lasecki tries to steal third. He is in, and then on the wayward throw, he is easily able to take home. And yet again, it is OEB running the bases to perfection. They have done that so well in this game, and that is a big reason why they are now up by so much. 6-run lead is definitely where they want to be. Fly ball sent into deep left center. Still going back, but it is tracked down for out number 2. Nice work out in center field by Hykov as he is able to somehow catch up to it. That ball looked destined to get past everybody and looked destined to hit off the wall for extra bases, but that is going to deny Morton and set up Berglund. Bases cleared, 2 down. In the 7th for T3, it should be 6, 7, and 8. Dooley was in, but in the end, he was taken quickly out as there was a play made at third. First pitch to Berglund is off the plate for ball 1. And assuming this inning does not drag on too long, there is a high likelihood that we do end up playing the 7th. Which is a surprise given how this one started. The 1-0 is off the plate for ball 2. But either way, given what the forecast initially showed, getting game number 1 completed was going to be a question mark, but it appears we are going to. The rain is coming down now, but we will see how bad that gets. The one thing to worry about with this diamond, unlike most, it does pool, and a big reason why is because of the dirt mound. We've seen this field flood a couple of times this summer. The goal is it can hold whatever rain we get. Berglund hits that one towards third. It is going to boot on back into left field, and Berglund is in safe at first. Just an unfortunate hop on the E5, but Berglund is safe and the inning will continue. 1 on, 2 down. That brings up Michael Banks, the third baseman. A ground out, an RBI single, and a fly out to right field so far for him. You will see if the rain is starting to affect these teams in a few moments. Getting a grip on the ball is going to be tough in the rain. As long as it stays a drizzle, that does give these guys a shot to be able to grip the ball. Now, if we start to see what happened to Antonio Escano and Premier Gambetta a couple of months ago, then yes, we're going to be done. The 1-0 is low for ball 2. The forecast is always very unreliable. Today, for the most part, it is accurate. But we'll see how accurate it is and what that ends up meaning for us here. The 2-0 is going to connect. Now 2-1 the count. Time now is 10:21. The game, I believe, did officially get underway at 10:24. So whenever that coach and umpire powwow ended, that is the time we're going from. 2-1 up high for ball 3. And I think one of the umpires did check his watch. So we'll see what they end up going with in a couple of moments. The pitch, driven foul, now even. I did have 3-1. I think they did correct it to 2-1, so now 2-2. But once again, it still could be 3-2, and now it's 3-2. Initially they said 2-1, which I was confused that we lost a random ball, but there it is again. Runner goes, payoff pitch, driven foul. And once again, it is going to be a trademark battle at the plate. Banks has done this already once today. But I'll give props to both sides coming out here today with so many uncertainties about the game. Guns a-blazing early, but still, they have kept that same level of fight going throughout the entire game. Banks will take down below, and that is another good piece of not necessarily hitting, but just plate discipline. Ball 4, 2 on, 2 down. And that'll bring on Sean Patron. Patron so far an RBI triple, a pop-out, and a ground out. 2 more runs would be enough for the run rule here as well. Patron pops it up, foul, and that is coming towards the box, and it is going to hit off the top of the box. We have had one ball come into the press box this summer. It did go in one of the windows, so hoping to avoid that here. Count now 0-1 on the DH. And speaking of nice field, Patron's home diamond for high school of Gilmore. One of the nicest diamonds that you will see in Ohio. I've had the pleasure of calling a game there, but also playing on that diamond. It truly is a very, very good and well-maintained field and facility. And to be fair, that is really what you can say about every single one of Gilmore's athletic complexes. The 1-1 runs inside and backs out Patron. Now 2-1 the count. Once again, up next, it is the Midwest Stars taking on Release Edwards. The 2-1 fly ball popped foul. Now 2-2 the counts. And that one is going to bounce right in front of us below us. A very loud bang, maybe a couple of rows below the press box. Looking at my watch right now, it is 10:24, so I do have the time limit here. We'll see what they go with down below. 2-2 is ripped foul. I had 10:24 as our official start time. That's at least what I clocked. So based on that, we should be done. I think they're going to let Patron bat here, and I kind of think they're going to put the kibosh. They haven't been too anxious to check the watch. And as both the time limit, it's not like it's a close game right now. It's a 6-run lead for OEB. So we'll see what they end up going with. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It misses upstairs for ball 3, and we are full. In the on-deck circle, it is Mitchner. And once again, the task is simple for the runners. Go on the pitch. And first, it is a look back from Chestnut. Kind of surprised on the payoff to see that look back. I get they're trying to catch him off guard, but your best opportunity to get an out is at the plate. Runners go. Payoff is driven into right field. Still going back. Melendez unable to get to that one. And Ohio Elite is going to walk this one off. It is going to be 13-5. And that is all she wrote for game number 1. That is the run rule put into effect at the same time as the time limit. It is 2 for the price of 1. And OEB is victorious. Down 4-0 early on in this one. They end up making it a big, big victory. 13-5, your final score in game number 1. One final commercial break, then we will be back on to announce our player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium. 13-5, your final score in this contest. It is a great win for Ohio Elite. A lot of great candidates for player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville. Just looking at the box score, you have Brian Lapp 2 for 3 today in this game. Patron 2 for 4, 2 triples, 3 RBIs. He did end this one. You have a couple of guys who had a couple of big putouts, but all of this offense, all 13 runs, it had to start somewhere, and that was Xavier Lasecki, the leadoff hitter. He reached 3 times today, stole 2 bases, but most importantly, he had a big hit to lead off the bottom of the first inning, and after that swing, OEB did not look back. And for that, Xavier Lasecki is your player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville, a very deserving recipient of the award. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFizz2024 on Twitter, as well as subscribe to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Our goal is to reach 4,500 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. I believe right now we are too shy of 4,400, so if you are new, go down below and subscribe. There is no cost associated, but it greatly helps out all we do at SmeeSports. If you want to help us out by becoming a broadcast sponsor, the information on how to contact us is on your screen. just send us a message at one of those avenues, and we will get back to you, and we would love to talk about how we can do good for you and give you one of the cheapest and most bang for your buck advertising plans in the area. Thank you to the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center and CrossFit Strongsville for being our broadcast sponsors today. Game number 1 done and dusted. OEB gets the win. Time now for game number 2. It is the Midwest Stars taking on Release Baseball Edwards. I am Nathan Smee saying so long for now from Kent, and we will see you again in a few moments. For those unfamiliar with how this works, you can go and find that link. We have the Midwest Stars logo and Release on one graphic. That should be the one that is set to go live in around 15 minutes. Switch on over there to continue watching our coverage of the Kent State and Akron Open. But this has been SmeeSports' coverage of the Kent State and Akron Open in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge. Thank you all for joining us for our first game of the day. We hope to see you throughout the rest of this lovely Wednesday. If not, we will see you next time.